sports out here tonight, isn't it? Polamalu has a way of setting the tone, doesn't he?
And that is a plant. Leave it to Ike Taylor to put the coda on it. Swaggin'. Halftime, Pittsburgh 3, New Orleans 3 as we get ready to start the third quarter.
Even my voice sounded a little scary on there. Let's take a look at our Vic's NyQuil first half analysis here, and it was 3rd and goal. And watch Jeff Charleston. He's going to end up making the play, standing up Doug Legursky, then gets a little help from the outside and Roman Harper. That forces Steelers to take the field goal. And that's a big reason why we're sitting here 3-3 now. And that's our Vic's NyQuil first half analysis.
Drew Brees is going to go to work right off the bat. Pittsburgh won the coin toss at the beginning of the game and received, and Reed to kick off. He missed that 51-yard field goal, which gave the Saints the ball at their own 41-yard line, and they were able to set up the field goal to tie the game at the end of the opening half. Reed sends it down to Courtney Roby. And Roby with a nice crease. And a good run back all the way out to the 44-yard line as we check in with Andrea Kramer. Andrea.
Well, you know how you guys were talking about Mike Tomlin smiling when he took that timeout to thwart the 4th down fake field goal? He said that's because they knew what was coming. They talked about it during the week, knowing that the holder was the backup quarterback. He said he took the timeout anyway. As for Sean Payton, he pointed out to me that both teams were 1 and 7 on 3rd down. I said, how do you get the offense going? He said, we have to stay balanced, can't abandon the run, and their secondary still very beat up. Pat Robinson out for the night.
Well, that'll be interesting to see if they can do that, Andrew, because they've only run the ball 6 times and thrown it 22, so they've had no balance to this point. And Brees will throw it underneath, and he hits Julius Jones, and Jones is able to pick up 14 yards and get a first down.
Tell you what, that was a brilliant play on the part of Drew Brees. Lamar Woodley looked like he was offsides. He got off the ball so fast here. He's going to get just a tremendous jump right there, basically before Stinchcomb could even move. And then Brees just stepped up, flipped it outside, picked up a big first down. And the Steelers have yet to allow a touchdown on the opening drive of either half. You see Drew Brees a little Kent to Colby shot, right?
The sidearmer since Don Drysdale. Chris Ivory. They're using that little short passing game kind of as a run game. Those, in effect, long handoffs. And that's one of the reasons that they've been running the ball so infrequently tonight. Only 7 rushes.
Well, I tell you, this linebacker crew, James Ferrier is coming, and Lawrence Timmons is sort of the guy trailing behind, but he's so fast, he's able to make plays that other guys just can't get to.
2nd down 10. Brees hangs in there and turning around and adjusting is Lance Moore to make the catch along the sideline at the 25-yard line, first down.
That's just brilliant timing on that one. We saw the Packers a week ago struggling on this very play, just one-on-one. Moore sold them enough, and just as it was Ike Taylor turning around there, the ball was perfectly thrown. And that Lance Moore has made up for so much of the loss of Reggie Bush. He has been the guy that's been able to win enough one-on-one battles to keep this offense moving.
But that major controversial 2-point conversion in the Super Bowl. Jones looking like the Jones who came up with Dallas about 6 years ago. First down.
Now this is one time that looks like Lawrence Timmons, if he had stayed in his gap, might have been able to make this play. He's right here, and he's going to back out of it thinking that Jones is going to go over the top. And that ends up giving Jari Evans just enough time to get up on him and made the play.
To the 14. Four-man rush to the 9-yard line, and it's Polamalu whacking Colston as he makes the catch, a gain of 5.
Good golly, did you see the hit? I mean, Colston just turns around after he makes this catch. This is really a nothing play, and Polamalu almost killed him. I mean, when something that big and strong is moving that fast, I mean, that hit should not hurt like that.
He gets every ounce out of that 5'10", 207, doesn't he?
Man.
2nd and 5. Breeze on a roll. Moore will make the grab and step out of bounds a little bit short of the first down.
And we're seeing Drew Brees adjusting a little bit. We're seeing them move the pocket a little bit, not sitting in one spot. They're doing some of these little move plays so that you don't get Harrison and Woodley and Timmons and Ferrier knowing where the quarterback is. And typically the Steelers love that double inside backer blitz to try and move Brees off the spot. And what the Saints are responding with is going ahead and moving him anyway.
3rd and 1, go with that. The two big backs here with Evans setting up as the fullback. You got Betts as the tailback. Play fake. Pass caught one-handed by Heath Evans for a first down. 1st and goal.
Well, who needs Reggie Bush when you have a fullback that can make a catch like this? Pretty nice. Heath Evans out there. You know, Bill Walsh used to love fullbacks that can catch because you go out and you fake the block that time on James Harrison. Just slip out in the flat. Big play in the game.
Chris Ivory back in. There's Bush along the sidelines. Opening drive, 3rd quarter. 1st and goal. Ivory. Nothing. Casey Hampton stuffing the middle. He's done that a few times.
Oh, baby, what a call you just made on that one. Casey Hampton, the lone remaining defensive lineman, that time was passing out lessons to Jonathan Goodwin. Watch this. Oh, it was Jari Evans he ended up getting. Took Jari Evans right into Chris Ivory. That was some defensive play.
Space Eater comes out here on 2nd and goal. Breeze to the end zone. He had a flag. Polamalu reached up. Pass intended for Moore. You saw him shake his head going, you bet.
Even Mike Tomlin knew that one.
Pass interference, number 43, the defense. The penalty occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed on the 1-yard line, automatic first down.
Polamalu is going to get his arm wrapped around Lance Moore and turn him. See the arm wrap and then pulled that arm back. An easy call for the officials. Remember, every official is looking at one of these receivers. So all 5 eligible receivers has an official assigned to him. They don't miss much.
Chris Ivory is the back. And Breeze will throw it too high. Intended for Streif on a tackle eligible play to the outside. He lined up outside and he can't hold it in. 6'7", 320, but he needed to be about 6'11".
Well, Streif has to block first, and then he gets the opportunity of a lifetime for an offensive lineman, but he ends up stumbling out of it and just can't quite turn around and make the play. Oh, he's got to be sick. That was his big chance.
2nd and goal. Ivory. And that's knifing in Chris Holt, who's the backup to Casey Hampton. 9th year in the league out of BYU. They spot him in certain situations. Good spot right here, 3rd and goal.
Another big-time play by a nose tackle. And right over here, the guy right next to him, Carl Nix, just couldn't quite get the cutoff block. And I tell you, for nose tackles to make those kinds of plays on the goal line gives your defense a chance. And we've got a big play right here.
3rd down goal. And a 3-3 caught early in the 3rd. Inside handoff. Swinging and getting nowhere is Liddell Betts. And that's Timmons and Harrison who are right there. And the Saints are going to have to settle for 3.
Well, the double-A blitz here, they're coming right up the middle, but watch the speed of Timmons. He is blocked, and he's going to get off and run this thing down. I mean, he's basically 2 or 3 steps behind Liddell Betts, but there was nowhere to go because James Harrison closed the door on the outside.
23-yard field goal attempt for Hartley. Daniel puts it down, and for the first time in the game, the Saints take the lead by 3, 6-3. This week, tonight's show, he will be hosting Janet Jackson, Anne Hathaway, James Franco, and Terry Bradshaw will be there. The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Weeknights this week, NBC. You work with Terry?
My man.
What a character.
I'm going to tell you what, I've had some funny people in my life.
I laugh every week. 5 yards deep, Emmanuel Sanders. And Sanders still going, loses the ball at the 35-yard line in the big scramble at the 40. And he gets away with it because Pittsburgh is going to wind up with it. So Sanders, who fumbled the opening kickoff last week, and he's just trying to make a little too much out of it.
Well, they tried to strip the first one there, and they didn't get it out, but they moved it just enough. Lee Torrance is going to get his hand on that thing and just started the movement.
Sigh of relief on the Pittsburgh end, especially by Sanders. Easter meets Halloween in New Orleans. 6-3 Saints. There's a guy, I couldn't tell whether he was Elvis or Roy Orbison. From the 40. After Hargrove forced the fumble, but Isaac Redman recovered to save the bacon for Sanders. And now you have Rashard Mendenhall going nowhere.
The one guy we've certainly been watching tonight, Marquise Pouncey, and I was talking to Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. They said this young man has been so impressive as a leader on our football team. I really believe if we took a revote, they would vote this rookie as one of the captains of the team. He has been nothing but sensational, works so hard in practice, never gives up on a play. What a great pickup for the Steelers.
Well, he's going to have to work with a new right tackle in a minute because you've got Flozell Adams, who left last week's game against Miami with an ankle injury, and he's down being attended to, injury timeout. Flozell Adams trying to walk off the ankle injury. 12 years with Dallas, comes over here. You've got Jonathan Scott, number 72, 5-year veteran, who replaces him on the right side. And Roethlisberger has time, pump faking, still has time, slides, and then makes the pass to Antoine Randall Hill, who takes it out to the 49-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
He could have had a basket full of beignets on that one. He sat back there pump faking. He had to pump fake that thing at least 3 or 4 times. And, of course, Ben's famous for this. You know, he's got that huge hand, and he tries to move the defense around. And you can see the defensive lineman trying to jump up, and he's just going to sit there and direct traffic for a little while.
3rd down 1. Redmond is the running back. He's their short yardage guy. Can he get the one? He can, and more. And bounces his way to the 46-yard line. And again, no big story when Hines Ward makes the block. He's only made about 1,000 in his career.
He has a pretty impressive double team there. It's always fun to watch these two big guys go at it here. Watch, they're supposed to take their guy. You only need a yard. Just take him and put him on his back, and you pick up first downs. Nice job by Chris Kamawatu and Max Starks.
Ward took Harper out of the play. From the 46. Then sliding. Flag is down. And Ben is down at the 39-yard line.
Holding. Number 72 offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, that's Jonathan Scott, and he's the guy who came in for Adams. And remember, they got Adams because Willie Colon was going to be their right tackle, and he's a good one, but he's on injured reserve.
Well, and really the strength of Jonathan Scott is his quick feet, but that time he got beat on an inside move by Alex Brown, and going to come right over here. And you're going to see his arm is just, he's going to stick it straight up in the air and sort of hook it around his head. That time the Saints, though, did what they want. They don't mind Ben scrambling if he goes left, but they say he is absolutely deadly moving to his right.
On a 1st and 20. Inside handoff, gets a yard or two. Mendenhall, Scott Shanley making the tackle. 5.5 remaining in the third. Saints defense. And Arizona, they lost. They allowed one at Tampa Bay in the most complete game this team played this year. They allowed one. Last week, only one. So the problem's been the offense with all of the turnovers. The defense has been holding up its end.
The offense has actually given up 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games. The defense only 3.
And there's the fake to Sanders and through the hands of Mendenhall, and Harper is right there. And that might have been 6.
Well, one of the problems that you have is there are so many guys around the line of scrimmage now for the Saints. They're either bluffing the blitz or actually coming on the blitz, that even a screen pass, there's nowhere to go. I mean, there's 7, 8 guys spread across that line of scrimmage. They fake the little ghost coming around and try the screen, and nothing really has been working so far for the Steelers.
Good night to fake a ghost.
Yeah.
3rd and 17.
I hate it when they burn these timeouts, too. Just come back to haunt you.
4:59 left, 3rd quarter. 6-3, New Orleans. Next Sunday night, America's game of the week on Sunday Night Football. Back we go to Lambeau Field. We were there last week for a beauty. Dallas comes in. Football night starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Plenty to talk about next week on both ends. Green Bay wins today. Big game in New York. And what about them Cowboys? Yikes. 3rd and 17 from the 47-yard line. And that'll be caught by Randall L. breaking the tackle, but it'll be stopped at the 40-yard line. 4 yards short of the first down.
Boy, I tell you, that was almost one of those, they break out of there. They're basically going to give you this pass. They're going to blitz, give you the hot read, go make the tackle and the first down. I say go make the tackle. He almost got out of that one.
Well, they're going to line up to go for it anyway. We'll see if they do from the 40 on 4th down and 4. This is where they gave the ball back to New Orleans at the end of the half when Reed missed the field goal. And they will go for it. And that pass is incomplete at the 29-yard line. Sanders wants a flag, gets none. And again, good field position coming the other way for the Saints.
He stole it
by 3.
He stole a touchdown from Hines Ward. His own man stole a touchdown.
Football being brought to you by Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL, by Mercedes-Benz. Experience truly great engineering today at your authorized dealer. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 50% on car insurance. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Sugar, sugar, sugar.
I don't think Ben Roethlisberger's loving this one, though. We're going to have a crowd here, and then Hines Ward out and up. And Emmanuel Sanders is making a play. I mean, you know, it's 4th down. You got to go try for the ball. But watch this. Going to fall right into Hines Ward's hands. He's going to walk in for the touchdown because Pearson Prelo fell down on the play, and Roethlisberger can't believe it.
From the 41. Check it down. Betts, short game. Timmons makes the tackle. Big hits.
There have been plenty of them, and I tell you, there's a lot of blitzing going on. This is one of those games, Al, that it's exciting because of the style of defensive play. They're not sitting back and playing zone defenses. Both of these defenses have been blitzing, and attacking, and special teams have been great. It's been fun to watch.
And again, the significance of this game can't be lost on either team, the way these division races are going, and that's a good open field tackle made by Ike Taylor on Robert Meacham.
You want to know why Dick LeBeau loves Ike Taylor? You just saw it. He thinks he is perhaps the best tackling cornerback that there is in the game. Are there guys that may be able to cover better, whatever? In Pittsburgh, if you can't tackle, you can't play. And there you go, just one-on-one against a very talented, speedy young receiver. Meacham on the outside. Get him right on the ground for a gain of 1.
Local guy, Taylor played his college football in Louisiana, Lafayette. 3rd down and 9. Breeze gets contacted, but still gets it away, and that's a 1st down. McFadden can only put his hands to his helmet after Meacham was able to make the catch on a 3rd and 9 for a 1st down.
I tell you, sometimes the most dangerous play when you play Pittsburgh is running into another Pittsburgh Steeler. Watch these two guys. Breeze is going to step up, and the Steelers guys are going to almost kill each other. You know, that last second little get up in the pocket not only saved him, but put a good shot on the Steelers.
Julius Jones is the running back on 1st down. Jones gets the toss, then to Colston. Colston looks to throw, and then he'll slide to a halt at the 44-yard line in trouble grasping the football. And he had Robert Meacham going very deep.
Yeah, and Meacham was trying to sell it slowly going down the middle of the field. You'll see him in a second here. But really neither safety for the Steelers bit. Ryan Clark and Troy Polamalu just stayed back, and Meacham's kind of jogging down there, and Colston said, I need somewhere to go with this thing. So he took off and ran and really made a decent play out of it.
5th year in the league for Colston, but he's never thrown a pass in a game. Still has 2nd and 9. Jones to the 41. Again, the significance of this game, Pittsburgh in that very tough AFC North, and of course Baltimore figures to be there all the way. Early December we'll have a Sunday night game, Pittsburgh at Baltimore, so the Steelers trying to stay on top. And then New Orleans all of a sudden in their division, Atlanta 5-2, Tampa Bay beats Arizona on the road today. They're 5-2, and the Saints are trying to not fall a game and a half behind, and they've already lost to Atlanta. They beat Tampa Bay when they faced them a couple of weeks ago. 3rd and 5. And Breeze will convert again. Another big 3rd down play, and Shockey looks over at Polamalu and says, gotcha this time. Or something like that.
That was a good move by Shockey right off the ball. Watch this one. He's going to give him a little jukey, beat him inside, get his hands off of him. Not too often you can beat Polamalu one-on-one with a tight end. Big time play there.
Knowing Shockey probably come to get a haircut. It's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. So 15 minutes left in regulation as the teams change ends. Touchdownless game after 3, 6-3. Saints. NBC's Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages. Coverage brought to you by Geico. That's just a wonderful shot. I mean, you think about what happened here 5 years ago and the devastation, and the people come back or whatever, and then to see it all lit up on this Halloween night is a thing of beauty.
Congratulations to all.
4th quarter, Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Andrew Kramer, and it begins with a pass to Marcus Colston. And Bryant McFadden is there to make the tackle. 6-3, New Orleans on top, starting the fourth.
Well, for Ben Roethlisberger, you know, it's been a bit of a frustrating night. He played awfully well. Quarterback rating a combined 122, which is really off the charts his first 2 games back. But this Saints defense has just simply been on a roll the last 3 3/4 games now.
It was Breeze. That completion percentage is excellent, but a lot of the stuff underneath. And the one interception, here's Jones. He gets taken down. Clark is the first guy to hit him, and then Eason finishes him off. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Well, the last man standing inside has been Casey Hampton, the nose tackle, and he has been trying to fill the shoes of everybody here tonight. It's up that gap, and for a guy that big to be that fast, always a little startling. He's working hard out there, isn't he?
135 games, most among active nose, 10th year in the league. Number 1 pick out of Texas in 01. 3rd and 1. And through the middle, Liddell Betts chugs ahead to move the chains.
Well, we talked about the double team on the part of the Steelers. That time Jari Evans and Jonathan Stitchcomb returned the favor. Again, short yardage. You just take one guy and you drive them right out of there with these 2 guys. Not a lot, but it's enough to move the sticks. And pretty significant moment here. If the Steelers want to hang in this game, they need to be able to keep the Saints out of the end zone here. Points are tough tonight.
Keep it to a 1-possession game on a night like this. From the 16-yard line, Breeze throws, turning, making the catch. And is he in or not? Yes, he's in. Touchdown, Marcus Colston.
Late move inside by McFadden. That shows man coverage, and Colston was able to get the back shoulder throw perfectly executed. That late jump inside let Drew Brees know he was going to have one-on-one man coverage and almost no possibility with a throw that good that you're going to be able to stop that.
Officials checking with each other, make sure he got it not only across the goal line, but was in bounds when he did it. Partly for the point after. First touchdown of the game, and the conversion to make it a 13-3 New Orleans lead with 12:55 in the fourth.
Next Sunday night, with pride on the line.
Let's win and leave it all on the field.
Can America's team reignite their season when they head to Titletown? Don't miss America's Game of the Week next Sunday night, only on NBC.
Thursday night of comedy on NBC Community 30 Rock. You've got a special christening coming up on The Office and Outsourced to wrap up the night. Comedy Thursday right here on NBC. Halloween night, New Orleans. Party going on, and they hope to be partying after the game with a W. Up by 10, the home team. Bouncing ball fielded 14-yard line. Isaac Redmond brings it back out to the 33. Very infrequently will you see a coach, a head coach of a team, facing a guy he played with in college, but that is the case here tonight. Darren Sharper, for so many years at Minnesota, now here. There was Tomlin at William & Mary between 90 and 94, and Sharper's a couple of years younger. He played for William & Mary 93 to 96. In fact, when they were recruiting Sharper and he made his recruiting visit to William & Mary, it was Tomlin who hosted him. So with Lee Torrance right now down on the field, an injury timeout here for the Saints. Lee Torrance looked like a guy who got the wind knocked out of him, so he's all right. He gets up, has to sit out one play. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's Pozell Adams. We saw him come out with the ankle injury earlier. He's back in at right tackle. And at the 32-yard line, it's first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 12:49 to go. They begin with a pass good for 9 yards to Matt Spate.
You know what's interesting, Al, is that this is a team that has been historically really good in the no huddle, but because of all the time that Ben Roethlisberger missed, they came out and did it a little bit last week in the game against Miami and really had trouble with the aspect of it because they had not heard Ben run that no huddle offense.
2nd and 1. Ward, and he takes it to the 47-yard line. Well, New Orleans has been playing great defense. It's been the offense that's been the problem, and they're proving that tonight. And they've done a tremendous job against a team like Pittsburgh that's a little more balanced than people think.
Yeah, and Ben Roethlisberger is going to have to pull off a little magic here. 21 times he's led comebacks in the 4th quarter or overtime. Only Peyton Manning has more during this stretch of his career, so he's used to this situation.
Led one last week against Miami. To the outside to Wallace. And there's Wallace finding his way inside the 40-yard line for a gain of 9. So once again, they set up a 2nd down and short.
Well, the one thing that has to be frustrating for Ben Roethlisberger is he can't get his big play guy going down the field. The Saints have done a nice job taking away the deep throws, so they're just going to turn around and give it to Mike Wallace underneath, see if he can't suck a little coverage up the field, and then work in behind him.
2nd and 1, the ball is at the 38-yard line. Mendenhall, he's got room, he's inside the 30, the 20, down the sideline he goes, touchdown Steelers. So they set up that 2nd and 1, giving him the options. They run it to the outside. That's 38 yards. And on the outside, David Johnson, one of the tight ends, with a nice block.
I tell you, these two guys have been doing it so long. Watch Heath Miller inside, and then you're going to see Polamalu come over with the kick out, and David Johnson, a huge block. That play could not be any more perfectly blocked. It is very seldom in the NFL you see a guy go that far untouched.
Johnson, the number 3 tight end, lining up as the offset fullback on that play. Sealing his man to the inside. Reed puts it through. So the New Orleans touchdown is answered by a Pittsburgh touchdown. And once again, it's a 3-point game. Saints on top. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Vicks NyQuil, multi-symptom cold relief for a great night's sleep. By Sprint, the Now Network. By BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Allstate, dollar for dollar, nobody protects you like Allstate. Frank N. Stein.
The rest of them we don't know. Or they're related, we're not sure.
13-10. New Orleans, they get the ball here. Courtney Roby fields the kickoff. 30-yard line, and flag is down here. Take a look at the touchdown again in a minute. Pete Morelli.
During the return, holding, number 56 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jolon Dunbar.
Well, this touchdown was just perfect. You had Flozell Adams and Heath Miller with a perfect block out here. Then you've got Hines Ward coming across in motion, going to kick out Roman Harper right there. And then you had in the backfield David Johnson with a beautiful drive block. And then watch Hines Ward in the background. Touchdown. I don't even have to watch that. He's gone.
Yep. Like a guy launching a 3 and turning around before it goes through the basket to play defense.
Boy, for a team that couldn't get any points on the board, that drive happened fast.
From the 20-yard line. That's incomplete. Is there a flag? No, there is not. Marcus Colston covered by Ike Taylor.
Hey, Mike Taylor's had a couple of good weeks in a row. He did a nice job on Brandon Marshall, and watch him play this slant. Jump inside. May have hooked that arm a little bit, but we'll let him get away with it.
He's just swagging.
Swagging. Good player.
My favorite intro of all time. Ike Taylor, swagging. 2nd and 10. The 23-yard line. That's David Thomas, and he gets taken down right there by Farrier, setting up a 3rd down and 5.
Well, money play here now. Defensively for the Steelers, this is the situation that they love, to bring a little bit of that zone pressure. And we were talking to Drew Brees about it, and he was saying, you know, it's not so much the guys that come down from the safeties like Troy Polamalu. It's the guys at the line of scrimmage that drop out that you don't see, that it can be so dangerous, and you can just throw foolish-looking interceptions.
Good protection for Brees, and wide open down the sideline is Robert Meacham. Clark bounces him out of bounds, but not until he reaches the 26-yard line. That's 50 yards.
Every once in a while, Troy Polamalu guesses, and he got caught guessing there. Here he is all the way back. He's going to see the guy down the field. Drew Brees is going to give him a little look inside, watch Polamalu jump, and there it is, wide open, back down the field to Robert Meacham. Exactly what Drew Brees was talking about. He said that you have to be able to take advantage of the fact that Polamalu will guess. That time he got him.
Longest catch of the year from Meacham. Julius Jones, the running back. Henderson in motion. They fake it to him on an end around and give it to the back. They give it to Jones for a gain of a yard or 2.
I'll tell you, they might come back and run the reverse the next time. James Harrison's been playing that little ghost play, the fake reverse, pretty well. Watch him right here. But now he's starting to crash down the line of scrimmage. And when you see that defensive end or outside linebacker coming down that way, now your coaches up there in the booth are thinking, maybe time to hit him with the reverse.
2nd and 8. Brees buying time. Throws underneath at the 23-yard line to Lance Moore.
Well, it wasn't much, but for Lance Moore, he just kept working out there. It was really nothing. They had absolutely nothing going. But he did more jukes and fakes in about a 5-yard area than most people do. He's really going to be covered. And okay, Timmons got him. All right, ignore him. There's a little juke and pick up a little bit and make this 3rd down a little easier.
3rd and 4. Harrison goes out in the slot to cover Meacham. And Brees is looking left, and Brees is going to have the ball removed by Bryant McFadden. And the Steelers have it. So they sent Harrison out to cover, and they sent McFadden in from the corner to blitz. And Woodley comes up with the recovery.
They lull you to sleep is what they do. All of a sudden, you haven't seen the blitz, and then here they come with a corner blitz and get there. Drew Brees, if you've played against the Steelers enough, you know in those 3rd downs you have to anticipate that. He held the ball. He stood there too long. It's really on him in that situation to either see it or get rid of it.
Second Saint turnover. Ball at the 27. 8 minutes to go. And Ben flushed left and throws caught. And that's going to be a 1st down. Matt Spaeth, who caught one on the previous drive.
Well, there's always the question these days in the league. Did McFadden get his hands on the helmet of Drew Brees? A little, maybe. Well, I've seen things like that called before.
Vilma makes the stop.
Boy, Chris Kamawatu, the guard, pulled out and ended up hitting Pearson Prelu, a safety, and almost killed him. You get a 300 and whatever pound guy coming over on a safety. What's this one? Good night.
From the 41, 2nd and 8. Ben throws, caught. Miller, and he loses the ball. It's picked out of the air by Sharper. And he gets back to the 45-yard line. So Miller had a big gain. Got to the 40, whacks himself in the helmet. And Sharper, the college teammate of Mike Tomlin, is just taking the ball back for New Orleans.
Well, first of all, it was Chris Kamawatu who made the block on the safety blitz that saved it. But then it was too late because the defense came up big.
Heath Miller, the normally sure-handed one, has given the ball back to New Orleans, and Darren Sharper a couple of days shy of his 35th birthday. The pop was made by Marvin Mitchell, the linebacker, to create the fumble. He forced it. Now Breeze on first down begins this drive with a pass to the outside, and that's Meacham who gets taken out of bounds in front of the Saints bench. Back to the fumble.
Yeah, you see it so many times whenever a guy gets spinning, the ball gets away from his body just fractionally. You can see it just get loose there for a second. Mitchell makes a hit directly on it. That's no accident. The Saints spend a ton of time trying to create turnovers and practicing that. And then there's Darren Sharper, who meant so much to this defense a season ago with those 9 turnovers, and Heath Miller can't believe he did it.
Under 6 to play. 2nd and 3. And that'll be a first down. Marcus Colston to the 43-yard line.
Well, after you hit Drew Brees on a blitz and force him to fumble, his next few throws are going to be quick throws. He's back there now, and he's just getting the ball out of his hands. And for Heath Miller, he knows an opportunity was blown. They were headed the other direction with at least a shot at a field goal if he had held on to that one.
And Drew can start thinking about milking the clock, looking ahead. Steelers had to use a timeout on offense earlier, so they have 2, plus the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. And that is Julius Jones going next to nowhere. Ziggy Hood makes the stop.
Well, Ziggy Hood, who's come in, we've talked about him for Aaron Smith. Here's a guy right there. Watch him just play off of an excellent blocker in Jari Evans. Pound his way in there. They're excited about him. They think that he's going to be a good one. Former #1 draft pick. Just didn't understand the defense well enough a season ago, but they think he's really ready for this opportunity now.
Given name is Evander. Played his college football at Missouri. 2nd and 9. Breeze gets it away. That's caught. And going out of bounds is Devery Henderson. A little short of the first with a flag down.
Passer, number 92 to the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Harrison.
Well, for James Harrison, we talked about outside the pocket. Maybe you get the extra step. When he's inside the pocket, you don't get that extra step. No question, it was a foul. No helmet to helmet. And I'm sure James Harrison's worried about everything anymore after getting fined $75,000. He can't believe he did it either. It was, though. That was a foul.
Got the letter. He thought it was 7,500.
Yeah.
Missed the 0.
Yeah, and then he almost retired.
Right. It's a bad 0 to miss. This is a decimal point in front of it. 1st and 10. The ball is at the 20. Jones to the 19-yard
obviously still plenty of time here if you can keep the Saints out of the end zone. You had a defense that been on the field for a while, but Ben Roethlisberger really has kind of found a little rhythm against the Saints defense, and you got to begin to wonder now that they've been through so many cornerbacks, you get them spread out in sort of an end of game situation. If they can get the ball back, they have to feel pretty good about their chances.
So Tomlin catch a little glimpse at that clock. Breeze, of course, real good at milking it all the way down. And in fact, he milked it too much. He has to take a timeout. Their first.
Yeah, and remember, the Steelers wasted a timeout as well, so they only have 2 coming down the stretch.
2 plus the 2-minute warning. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. Last 2 series, the turnovers. Breeze at first, as they had already moved themselves into field goal position. The sack fumble, and then Miller hit by Mitchell, plucked out of the air by Sharper. And that's created this drive right now, which has consumed about 3 minutes, 5 plays, and 36 yards.
Well, Heath Miller, no questions. Great player, had the great block on the touchdown run, but that one does hurt. But for Darren Sharper in this New Orleans Saints team, he just has a way of making plays in big moments. I thought he was a definite candidate for defensive MVP a season ago.
He was, and then he had surgery, and he was on the PUP list until 2 weeks ago. And here is David Thomas to the 19-yard line, where he's tackled by Lawrence Timmons, and the Steelers are going to take their 2nd timeout here.
Well, I tell you, the one thing that is always impressive when you watch the Steelers, their open field tackling. They get out there in the open field and just, they get people on the ground every single time. And James Harrison, that time, that was a little bit close to a late hit as well at the end of that play. A little bit on the line on this 3rd down, isn't there? James Harrison, I don't think, still has recovered from that $75,000 fine that the NFL put on him. He still thinks the receiver ducked on the play. He actually has fans sending money to him to help him pay the fine. He's going to start a foundation with.
Right.
This is the spot on the field. You see a lot of pick plays. The Steelers like to bring pressure. If you can just get one guy free on man coverage.
Well, they're going to only rush 3. 8 back. Pass caught. Moore, he gets to the 9-yard line and a 1st down. And now they really put the Steelers between a rock and a hard place after using that timeout. Just 1 remaining plus the 2-minute warning, and Breeze has a 1st and goal.
Well, you're going to see it coming. There's the pick right there. They just try and clear out a little space. It ends up being a zone defense, but it was clearly what they had in mind. They were going to try and just rub off, give Lance Moore just a little bit of space, and then a catch and run, and that's the old Reggie Bush play, and those are the ones he's been making this year for them.
Liddell Betts is the running back. And Breeze to the end zone into traffic. Touchdown to Lance Moore. Gutsy call. Just when you thought they'd run the ball, they take the clock down to the 2-minute warning. Away they go over the middle.
And gutsy catch out. Watch this. He knows. You go in there with Troy Polamalu, you know what's coming. You're going to take one right in the chops. Holds on to the football. What a monster couple of plays for Lance Moore.
In the second half, Drew Brees is 20 of 22. Hartley for the extra point. Well, if it was one sort of weak link in that great Pittsburgh defense, it was pass defense. 20-10 to Orleans. I don't think any coach in the league makes more gutsy calls than Sean Payton. We all know about the onside onside kick, second half Super Bowl. But to make that call, if they had run a running play on a 1st and goal, the clock would have been inside 2:40. So they would have forced Pittsburgh to use a timeout or take it to the 2-minute warning. Instead, on 1st and goal, back goes Breeze and threads it for a touchdown.
Yeah, and Polamalu got a great jump, but just wasn't enough time for him to get there. I'll tell you, I really have grown to really appreciate this Lance Moore. Not only is his quickness made up for so much of the loss of Reggie Bush, but that kind of courage going in over the middle against big, hard-hitting safeties. Pretty special stuff.
Thomas Morstead to kick off, and he was the guy in the Super Bowl who kicked off on that just mentioned onside kick, and he's got the better leg, so that's why they put him in here to send it deep, which he does 4 yards into the end zone. Sanders. And Emmanuel comes back out to the 22-yard line of 2.5 remaining.
You know, but Al, really, plenty of time. You go down, you're down 10, you need a score, and it doesn't really matter which order it comes in. You can take a field goal because you're going to have to onside kick, Hail Mary probably anyway, so sometimes there's a little strategy maybe to taking your shot at the field goal and then throwing a few in there if you recover the onside.
And along the way, they've got that one timeout and the 2-minute warning. Right now, they're at the 21-yard line on 1st down. Saints put pressure on and sack him at the 7-yard line, Jonathan Vilma. And it's almost like it doesn't matter what the game situation is. They're just going to bring the house.
It doesn't matter what the game situation is. Watch this. You're going to have coverage right here on the back. And as soon as he sees Mewelde Moore block, then that means Jonathan Vilma comes and comes up with a big sack. And for Ben, he needed to get that one out of there.
12-yard sack, 2nd and 22. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Miller to the 23-yard line. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning with 1:56 remaining. And a 3rd and 8 coming up. 20-10 in favor of the reigning Super Bowl champs.
Sunday night revenge.
Rodgers into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Barr pulls it back, and then he throws an interception again. And that's the way it ends for Favre at Lambeau.
Next week, the Packers can take another Lambeau leap in the NFC. But Rodgers, beware. The boys are coming with prime time pressure on Sunday Night Football.
That's next week, and tonight after this game, Andrew will have an interview with the stars in the game. Bob Tony and Mike Florio will wrap up the game and other things NFL, and we'll look ahead to that game next week at Lambeau Field.
You know, Al, the Saints have been blitzing so much. It'll be interesting here if the Steelers set up some sort of a pick play. So if they blitz and play man coverage, maybe you can have one of those catch and run kind of plays for something big.
See what they call on a 3rd down and 8. They sent 5. And you got a flag down, and for the moment you got Sanders making the catch, and that would move the change, but we'll see about the call.
Illegal contact, defense. The penalty will be declined. Result of the play is a 1st down.
1st down regardless.
Really, if anything, it was Emmanuel Sanders who initiated the contact. That was a pretty strange call. But here we go.
Steelers take it. Yep.
Yeah.
1st and 10. One timeout. Again, they can get those points in any combination. 3 and 7, 7 and 3. Then throws. It's intercepted at the 50-yard line. Lee Torrance to the 31-yard line. So Torrance going getting to play more tonight because of the injuries, and he's been out a couple of times with his own injuries during the course of the game. Picks a pretty good time for career interception number 1.
Well, once again, Greg Williams bringing all kinds of heat, and Ben Roethlisberger steps up and is going to hit this one, but he just can't get enough on the throw and allows Torrance to come underneath and make a play. And now I cannot say enough about the job that this secondary has done in this game. One cornerback left on the roster, and they have simply been sensational all night long, basically playing with a backfield filled with safeties.
Lee Torrance has played 53 games in the National Football League. Pretty good time for that first pick. They'd released him, and then they re-signed him, and now Roethlisberger will take a knee. Pittsburgh has a timeout, but they can go home with this one.
Well, and it's a massive one. There's no doubt about it for the New Orleans Saints in a division with Atlanta and Tampa already there with 5 wins to pick up their 5th. In this one, against a team like the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers came in. I think if you took a poll, most people would have picked the Pittsburgh Steelers as the best team in the NFL, and you just cannot underestimate this win.
And it's a win in so many ways. It is so big because you avoid going to 4-4. You avoid being a game and a half back of 2 teams. And looking ahead now to the Saints' upcoming schedule at Carolina, they'll be favored. Bye week, get healthy. Seattle comes in here, they'll be favored. At Dallas, who in the world knows what's going on there right now? At Cincinnati, St. Louis here. So it's not bad the way that sets up. And then when they get to December, at Baltimore and at Atlanta, that's tough.
Well, and you know what's so strange about this season is that 6 of the 8 division leaders now from a season ago are in 3rd or 4th place. So basically this entire NFL season has been flipped upside down.
Big Halloween night win for the Saints. 2 of the great young coaches in the league. 2 of the great quarterbacks in the league.
And you know, I have to say that Ben's absence and maybe lack of practice time against all that pressure, all those blitzes that they saw from the Saints tonight, maybe was a little factor.
20-10. Saints win it. Andrea coming up with an interview, and the gang all here for the Gillette post-game report after these messages from your local NBC station.
Welcome to the Gillette Fusion Pro Glide post-game report. Here now, Bob Costas.
Groping a bit after a bad home loss to the Browns, undermanned because of injuries, the Saints pull it together and treat their fans to a 20-10 win over the Steelers on Halloween night in New Orleans. Drew Brees had 34 completions tonight. That happens to be the most completions against a Pittsburgh defense since Rich Gannon, then with the Raiders, had 43 of them 8 years ago, back in 2002. Along with Darren Sharper, Drew Brees is on the field with Andrea.
Thank you very much, Bob. Drew, you guys said last week the loss was humiliating. You had to do some soul searching. What did you learn about your team tonight?
Well, we have a special group. I think we all knew that from the start. We just had to come out and prove it. You know, we stuck together. You know, it's a long season. It's a marathon. You're going to have your ups and downs. Hopefully, we're on our way to going upward now.
What was the difference in your performance from the first half to the second half? It was the efficient Drew Brees the second half that we recall from last year.
Yeah, you know, I think it was just early on. It was extremely physical. Both defenses playing very, very well. It was really just a matter of, you know, kind of getting some tempo and rhythm back and establishing, you know, some first downs and just getting things going. And we were able to do that in the second half with a couple big drives.
How hard-hitting and intense was this game?
It was very much that way. And anytime you play the Pittsburgh Steelers, a Dick LeBeau defense, you know, with that group of guys, you know it's going to be fast and physical, and it was.
All right, Drew, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Darren Sharper, why was this defense so opportunistic tonight?
You know, that's something that we kind of put our hat on, is to be an opportunistic defense. Find a way to take the ball away. We haven't been as productive as we did last year doing that. And that's something we concentrate on each and every day in practice. And today was just one of those games in which the ball bounced our way.
What was it like playing with a secondary that was so depleted, basically down to one cornerback?
It shows you the character of our guys. We got a philosophy, next man up. And we had to deal with that a lot this season. But we got a lot of good players. We have good depth in our secondary. And everyone that stepped in played extremely well. You saw Lee Torrance at the end make the game-sealing interception. He's like a guy that stepped in and filled the void when we had an injury. So it just shows you that whoever's up, they have to go in there and play like a starter.
There had been so much talk about the Steelers' #1 ranked defense and the Steelers' #1 ranked run defense. What statement did your defense make tonight?
You know what? We took it as a challenge. We said before the game that whoever plays the best on defense is going to win this game. And sorry to my man Mike Tomlin, but I think our defense played the best today.
All right, Darren, thanks a lot.
All right.
And, of course, Bob Sharper talking about his old college teammate, Mike Tomlin, and the Saints head to Carolina next week.
All right, Andrea, thanks very much. Let's hook up now with New York and bring in Tony Dungy. Bad loss last week at home to the Browns. People talking about the Saints having the old disease of the Super Bowl hangover, post-Super Bowl hangover. They certainly turned things around, especially defensively tonight. How did they do it?
Well, they really did. Drew Brees got his short passing game going, as you mentioned, with all those completions. But it was really the defense. The red zone defense, they stopped Pittsburgh at the goal line. And then, as Darren Sharper just said, coming up with those takeaways. That's what their defense hadn't done in these last couple of weeks. And they got the big turnovers when they needed them.
On another topic, Tony, the Cowboys were taken apart by the Jaguars today.